So that's what's going to be when it looks like on the receiving end of this particular technique that we're going to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about the arrow punch for Wing Chun. As you saw in the opening clip, what it looks like to be on the receiving end of it. But the arrow punch is this really long, derived kind of whipping action of your arm generated from your shoulder. It's probably one of the longer distance-wise techniques that we have for arrow punch. But the real power from it again is just this snap of the arm. And as you can see, it's derived from this push off of my leg and just snap. As you pull the arm and you extend the other arm, pushing from that shoulder, and then good snap there. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. The key thing with this is the timing, okay? As with any fighting discipline, it's really important that you have really good timing. So as your reaction, your speed gets up better with this, the better applied this technique is going to be. So we're going to discuss this a little bit. We're going to show you how to use it at a couple of different angles here. And then we'll show you some supportive exercises and how it's used with a partner and that sort of thing. So first, as any punch comes in, I want to make sure again I'm dodging out of the way. So we're going to show you from the side profile of what the timing drill looks like. So as I lean back, right, I don't want to just lean back, I got to have lean back with insurance. So my hands are going to kind of be like this. Right? So this is our fighting stance. Now the fighting stance that you initially start with is not a restricted stance. It can be however you need it to be, but generally we have a rule of basically one hand up, one down, one forward, one back. Okay, so something along the lines of this, because as where your hands are going to influence what's going on, how the other person's going to come at you. So when we start like this, my top hand will come down to just cover anything low. My back hand will come forward just as a safeguard for anything that's coming towards my face. So we're here, and then as we do the arrow punch, you're actually going to be pushing off your back leg because it's already loaded, and you're nice big step. So you're here, nice big step, really lunging with that shoulder there. Okay, so here, and then boom, as it comes up. Step back, lean back, boom. Okay. Now from the front side, okay, here. It looks a little scary because, well, you're fully exposed and that sort of thing. Again, it's timing and reaction. So what happens is as our guy jabs in on us, my first thing, so if he reaches, so as he reaches me, my first reaction is to lean back and get out of the way. But I'm not just going to lean back, I'm going to have some insurance. So that's where the hands come in, and I just catch the ball basically. I'm just here, so relax. All right, so if he jabs again, right, boom. I lean back, having the hands here just kind of as a sensor. So as you come back from that jab, I go forward and I punch him back. Okay. Now, doesn't really matter how close he is, because this can be three things in one. Because again, I'm just whipping the arm out like a towel. So as he jabs, right, as he pulls back, if he's really close, I catch him more with the forearm. If he's a little bit farther back, right, I catch him more with the back fist, the back of the hand. And if he's at the very end of my range, it's more the straight of the front of the fist, and it becomes actually more the punch itself. But this is still also playing along with the idea of covering at the same time. Because if he does do a second punch after his initial punch, the way we do the arrow punch still covers that second punch. So if he goes 1, 2, this still covers that, and as I still extend out. So I don't really care what he does. So how this is actually used, you can do it off of the first one, second one. Usually we don't do more than 3 times though. So if he jabs, I will go 1, I find the timing, 2, right, 3, and then I come forward. Then nice explosive power. As you can see, I've thoroughly stepped through him at this point. As we do more follow-ups with that afterwards. So if he does a kind of a 1-2 sort of thing, boom, cute. And as you can see, he's thoroughly uncomfortable with where I'm at. And depending on what the situation is we can do different follow-ups at that time. So this first supporting drill that we're going to show you today is the actual timing drill itself. The basic concept with it is as the person punches, again, you get back out of the way, and then as they pull their hand off of your hand, right, you have that sensation of when they come backwards, right, you just immediately follow in and give them your punch, and it's the same thing, right, you pull back off of them, they come forward, so you're getting this nice back and forth timing action between you and your partner. Slow first. Then as you get more comfortable working with your partner, then you slowly start increasing the speed. And again, as the person pulls back, you go straight forward. The second drill that we're going to show you is our crab walk. It's really important for to have really good leg strength, to have that really good blast off with the legs, so you get a nice big step as you step with it. We're going to have Dan show that one today, but just a quick explanation of it. You get nice and low, nice low, long horse stance. All right. One arm punching out to the side, the other arm pulled back. You're going to push and pull with the shoulders and the arm, twist the upper body, big step, and then arm and leg together as you step up. And you just repeat that process so you get to the end of where you're going, and you just switch to the other side, big step, arrow, boom. And then that arrow punch there. So the power for the arrow punch is coming from the feet and the hip and going through the shoulder itself, not so much the arm. The arm's just kind of like a wet towel just snapping out there. And so it's really just this kind of push through the shoulder as you just let your arm snap out. And you can see that I'm driving through my hips, through the ground, and just letting it come through the shoulder. So one of the training drills that you can do for this is you get a heavy pipe, not too heavy though, because you want to still be able to move with it. But a nice little heavy pipe, arms about shoulder width apart, about shoulder height, and you're going to work on pushing and pulling from that shoulder, using this with the turn as you turn. And pull and pushing with the shoulders,